Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel, All Things SEO. And today we're going to discuss on how to check your website page speed. Reason why you want to check your page speed is you might ask yourself why your people are not coming to your site or why your rankings has dropped. Majority of the time, you want to kind of check your website page speed to kind of see if it's more than 3 seconds, more than 5 seconds, then you have kind of an issue of people, are they willing to wait for your site to load or will they want to leave? And that's like the general rule of trying to have your website under 3 seconds. You want to give them the fast possible rendering of your site. And if you don't, then people might not want to wait. So here are 5 tools that you want to use to kind of get you an idea of how fast or slow your website is, so that you might want to decide if you want to make some improvements or consult with the SEO agency to kind of determine what steps you might need to get your website improved. So the first one you want to do is go to your website and click on Inspect Element and click on the double arrow and click on Audit. I've done that here. It kind of gives you like a quick SEO audit. In this section, you might not be able to understand the whole issues, but you could kind of get an idea of what issues there are. And visually, you could kind of see how long it takes for your website to load. And then a little bit more information here. Next tool that we want to use is called Pingdom. You could just Google pingdom.com, or all the website URL will be added to the description below, so you could check on it quickly. Type in your URL, and based on where your websites are, if it's a local based or if it's national or if it's global, you want to get an idea of how your website reacts on certain area of the world. So if you're locally based in the US, you want to try to find the closest one in the area. So if it's a West Coast thing or East Coast, um, or if you are targeting global, you could check on every area so that you could kind of see if you could improve on certain regions if you need to, if there's a demand for it or things like that. Here I picked on San Francisco just to give you a test here. This is a better, easier to read test. So the load time is about 5.43 seconds. So now you have an understanding of, okay, it's more than 3 seconds, so there's a need for improvement, and you want to kind of just stick with that for the time being. The other tool that you could use is giftspeed.com. This also gives you a little bit more of a breakdown. In the New York area, it's about 3.5 seconds. Content visible, it kind of explains to you, okay, I could see the website just loading and all the JavaScripts and everything's fully loaded at 3.56 seconds. So when I reload the site, 1, 2, 3, this is loaded. Now it's fully loaded. So there is a big difference between that. And then based on the certain gaps here, you might be able to kind of fix maybe if it's an image issue or if it's a JavaScript issue. You could kind of get a little bit more of a breakdown just by looking at some of these files that you have on that specific page to kind of determine how long and the breakdown of each section. Other tool that you could use is gtmetrics.com. What you want to do is copy and paste your URL, test your website. This tool does not give you a specific region that you're able to test. The only 2 tools that you could use to do that is Pingdom and give the speed. You could actually change different location based on where you are. So you don't have to really rely on the actual load time if you are locally based, but you do want to kind of use this tool to get an average speed rating. This one also gives you a little bit more of a breakdown of the percentage of each individual stuff that kind of restricts your page speed and which one's kind of good. So compared to the usability of the Lighthouse speed versus GT metrics, it's a little bit more easy to kind of understand the breakdown of it. Okay, so the next tool that you could use is Google PageSpeed Insight. It's similar to the Lighthouse, where you can kind of see the overall performance of mobile and desktop. Gives you the different rendering images. And you go to desktop, you can see a comparison. Mobile, you can see the comparison. Over here as well, if you do a test, you could select desktop and it'll run the desktop Lighthouse Audit compared to the mobile. So now you have a general idea of where your site kind of fluctuates. You have about 5, 3.8, and in Washington, now you see that in the East Coast you might have better page speed versus the West Coast. So this is the website performance of desktop. And like I say, you don't have to necessarily understand every aspect of each of them. You might want to kind of consider properly sized images, something that's really self-explanatory versus speed index or first contentful paint, meaningful paint. You could try to understand the different types of things that causes the page to load at a certain time and talk with your developer or SEO expert to see what they could tackle to kind of have a slight improvement. And when you actually do fix these issues, you want to kind of go through all of these tests again to kind of get an understanding. Again, over here, if I create a San Francisco test, which I did is 2.61, if I do it again, you kind of see the different types of page speed. And you don't, like I said, you don't want to say it's 3 seconds. You want to kind of do an estimation of your page speed. So you have middle point, an average middle point. So now it's 1.5 seconds. Compare that to Canada. Let's do a retest of that. And then let's do a San Francisco test with the gift of speed. 4.6 seconds instead of 5. 4.454. So now you have like, okay, around that area where you have a good amount of page speed. With the maximum you've seen is 5.6 down to 3.8. There could be things that you could do better. Now you have a list of things that can be better. And then this is how you can start your web page improvements. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button.